So those Brave Star, I believe, was 8 inches. Um, you had Mattel. Mattel was the forefront with He-Man. There was a lot of gimmicks with He-Man, and all the figures had the basic body. They all had the basic model body, but the heads were different. And what you saw on TV kind of inspired you to go ahead and get those. I remember Street Sharks. I know Tiger Sharks, Snorks, Fraggle Rock. So all these things, it was my way of getting them, holding on to those memories. Remember what you're seeing, like the GI Joes. Seeing the Sopantor with the chariot, right? That was the thing to have. I don't know, when I was growing up, the Cobra Ill, that figure was so hard to come by. I remember in
It
school,
was actually,
people,
yeah, it was.
yeah,
It was
people would
ridiculous.
just lose their minds, like to trade like a Snickers bar. And one of the I remember my brother had one, and he got so many offers, from the Secret War figures to candy bars. They'll throw in this with it, and then the age of computers, Nintendo, Sega Genesis, and even with that, action figures were still they still held their value. Not like today, like
No,
as
don't get
far
me
as the
wrong.
yeah,
Today, actually, they're really more detailed and articulate. Yes, they are. But when
yes,
you look back from the nostalgia point of view, it brought back those memories as a child that you couldn't afford to buy, and you had to ask mom and dad, "Hey, Christmas time is around the corner. Can I please have the GI Joe? Can I please have the He-Man, Masters of the Universe?" And as a
yes,
child, that's what we live for. We live for the holidays and the birthdays and the whole 9 yards. But it's pretty cool,
yeah.
though. I mean, yeah.
You know, yeah, in the He-Man vehicles, the Land Shark had a string you could pull, and it would ride. Even though I forgot the green motorcycle that He-Man had, it was like a dragon or an eagle. You pull it, it would slide. Even the GI Joe vehicles, the GI Joe vehicles. I remember, if you had the Cobra Raven, that was like something amazing, right? Because it
Right.
was
So
the actual.
whoever came in, welcome to the channel. Welcome to the interview of Bam Collectibles and Goybot, and they left. They come in and leave. That's the fourth person. Wait, I hope it's not on private. I put it on public.
Yeah,
Will
they
you be
wouldn't
able to
even.
find? Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. All right. Go ahead. I'm sorry to cut you off. Let's start over
Yeah,
again.
what I was saying is that we're talking about the Cobra Raven. It was the first time you saw a jet with a mini jet on top, and when you saw what you saw in the cartoon was that, hey, it was able to detach. In cartoon, in your imagination, the figures would walk around in the plane and be able to go to the other plane. But it was a time where action figures did not lose their values. And when I say value, to the children, the kids at that time, um, I think it's different nowadays. As far as action figures are more for collectors. I think it's more collectors that support the action figure lines than actual kids.
All right. Question two, and I agree with you on that for sure. Okay. If you had a choice, if both cartoons were on Saturday afternoon when you were a kid, GI Joe or He Man, which one would you watch first?
Um, I would watch GI Joe first. And the reason for, like, GI Joe was just action packed, because you had a certain grounded feel to GI Joe. If you looked at GI Joe, there was the story, and then there was the lesson at the end of the story, and then there was a other message, like, hey, if you see a live wire, don't touch it. Um, I don't know. It was with GI Joe. There was so many layers, right? The
Three
villains, right?
people came in and they left. Yeah.
Yeah. So I would say GI Joe had a element to it where it kind of went into science fiction. the vehicles and the weapons.